Okay, I want to keep the talk of Evan Roger Wood and Marilyn Manson before I jump to Esme Bianco from Game of Thrones and known for Game of Thrones, and that's it. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but it's really hard to side with anybody, but in this case with this ladies, when there's so many inconsistencies, there's so much proof that she was playing on his weaknesses, but that you can say that because she was younger and he was older, so she was playing that on that role. But the thing, this is my opinion of her, my theory. I think that she has no personality, or she has some type of like narcissistic controlling personality, because this is something that she did to him. It is something these people do. She talks about love bombing, like he love bombing. I think it was the opposite. And there's a couple of interviews when he talks about her, like he puts her on a pedestal, and then and there's a couple of interviews with Nightline magazine, with Rolling Stone magazine, with Spin magazine from 2007 and all the way to 2014. And when she talks about how he helped her out to find her identity and to find herself, and he was supportive of her music career. And really seriously, I mean, I just keep on this. So this is what happens, which is what I think that she did. I think that she flattered and she played on his deep, deep insecurities, because he was very insecure after he got divorced from Vita Montes. And I think that Evan Roger Wood just got there at the right time and just played on his insecurities, and his ego was down. His career was kind of going to the shit. His wife just left him and divorced him on Christmas Day. That's what he says. I don't know if it's dramatic or not. I believe him. And I think Evan just was right at the right place. So there's an interview from Manson. He's saying this: I was married to somebody who wanted me to change, Manson says. I became more of an adult, more responsible, and I began not to like myself, not like what I do in his music. I lost my identity and I didn't know who I was. Everything began collapsing around me. The record allowed me to put an end to that. Dita left at Christmas while I was recording. That's not Evan talking, that's Manson talking about his divorce and how he felt like he couldn't be himself around her and blah, blah, blah. I was married to somebody who wanted me to change, didn't let me be myself. I began to not like myself, not like what I do. Everything began collapsing around me. Dita left at Christmas while I was recording. Then in November 2005, she filed for divorce. Divorce was settled in December 2006. And this isn't all cliche, says Manson. Getting married changes everything, which it kind of did for those two, Dita and Manson. But during their time together, Montes desperately wanted him to change his sleeping hours, his schedule, his habits, including drugs and such. But Manson protested. He said, I'm not most creative. I am the most creative between 3 and 5 a.m. Everybody knows this. That's the way I've always been, he continues. She said she would tolerate my lifestyle, but she hoped I would change someday. I was sleeping on the couch in my own home. I was angry at myself. I was no longer supposed to be a rock star. I was somebody who had to apologize for everything. I wasn't prepared to be alone. I came out of this naked, a fearless bird. I feel sorry about the guy. Marilyn Manson split with wife Dita Montes last year. Then he says, this is from Rolling Stone magazine in 2007. Then he said, I found my double, my twin, with my new girlfriend, Evan Roger Wood. She's 19, and certainly that's very young, he added. But that's not a problem for me. She likes the same things. I'm not making this up. She likes the same things as me. She understands I like to get up when night falls and goes to sleep at dawn. So she gets that. She gets him. She understands him. This is why I really think that she played him on his insecurities, and he was just, sitting on his divorce, feeling crappy, just like anybody should, men or women, should or could after you get divorced and such. And she just went in there and played the role. This is what I think. A lot of people think that, not just me. So Manson says that she understands. She understands that I like to get up when night falls and go to sleep at dawn. So Manson was in Paris for 3 days to promote the upcoming album Eat Me, Drink Me, we know that he kind of made the album for her, and they were together, and then made that video, which is called Heart-Shaped Glasses. And they're together on the video, they're kissing, they're hanging out on the video. At the end of the video, they take off in a car and they kiss, and you can see the tattoo that she has on her leg when they're holding hands as the camera on her leg. And it's the lightning bolt, which is said to for David Bowie, and also for Manson, because Bowie and Manson, Manson's like super fanatic of Bowie since he was little. And then like the thing is like it has a heart. The tattoo has a heart around it, and it's all black, which all tattoos are black usually. And that was the tattoo that they got together, that she got for him. Later on Instagram, in 2020, she posted a picture of the same tattoo, okay, that she has right here on her leg, and said, I got this on Valentine's Day for David Bowie. And after he passed away, I put a heart around it. That is the biggest bullshit. That's just crazy. And I don't know how does she lies to herself this much when there's proof that she got that tattoo for Manson. And last year she posted a picture of her leg saying that she got it for Bowie. After David Bowie passed away, she tattooed a heart around it. No, you can go watch the video, Heart-Shaped Glasses, and you see that she has that tattoo. And at the last shot of the video, when they're holding hands, the camera shows the tattoo. And it's a lightning bolt, which is the lightning bolt that Manson has been using. Also, Bowie used it, I understand, but Manson was using it too way after, of course. And there's a heart around it because she got it for him. And she admitted this in interviews, in Nightly magazine interviews in 2008. But last year, she posted that she got it for David Bowie. So, like, people that lie with little, it seems like a little thing to lie about, but it just shows character. And this is the same with Amber Heard. You lie about little things, not here and there, but it should show a court of law eventually, whenever this goes to court, that you lie about so many things before, and why not lying about the big thing? It's just what liars do. They don't lie straight up about something big. They start doing small. And they lie so much that if somebody just goes and tells her, hey, there's a picture of you in 2008 saying that you got this tattoo for him. It's a picture of you on Instagram that she posted herself. This is what I think, she's not that smart. Because why she posts herself something like this is because she either believes her own BS, and that's like very sick if she really believes it, or she's really so delusional and she thinks that we're all a bunch of idiots and say that she got the tattoo for David Bowie. No. I mean, yeah, she likes David Bowie. So, yeah, okay. But she got it before for Manson in 2008. And there's proof of that from her mouth in an interview. But this is what I was getting to. Okay. So he's saying she's 19. That's very young. He's completely aware of it. He's not trying to just play it off like, I don't know. But that's not a problem for me. She likes the same things that I do, that I like. She understands that I go to sleep when night falls. No, she goes to sleep when night falls and I go to sleep at dawn. So she got it. She understands that he likes to stay up between 3 and 5 a.m. That's what he's been saying that in interviews over and over. And then Evan, on her testimony, said that she was forced to stay up. She was forced to do this. She was forced to have this lifestyle. And he's saying that from the beginning, she expressed to him that she got him, that she understood where he was coming from. And they like the same things. You can call that liking the same drinks, the same type of coffee, or liking the same stuff in the bedroom. Maybe. So this is what I think happened. I think that's exactly what I think happened. She played him when he was just right after his divorce in 2007. Eat Me, Drink Me, due for release in June 5th. He said, I needed to get my wings back by making this record. Oh my God. It's like more and more. He seems, I'm not going to put him down because I think he's a good artist, but he seems in this interview, which is years ago, he was so on the shit and feels so sorry for himself, throwing a pity party, feeling like shit because his wife left him on Christmas Day. So whoever got with him in that moment, he was going to put on a pedestal. And it happens to be Evan Roger Wood. I don't think it just happened. I think that this was more planned than what people think it was. So he found his wings with 19-year-old Running with Sisters actress Evan Roger Wood, who impressed Manson by telling him She will die for him. Okay. It might sound strange, he says, but that make me want to live. I mean, you can argue with him that he's just being completely blindfolded by love and sexual attraction and how beautiful she is, because she is, especially when she was with him, she really was. So no, what I think is that she totally played him right there on his insecurities as a man, as a guy who got divorced. He felt kind of like a failure, because even if people think that this guy is like such a just mess and such a monster, but he always had relationships that were very long. He got engaged twice. He got married twice. He seems like a person, a relationship person. This is not to say that he's not freaky in the bedroom and all that. He seems like a relationship person. And I think she played on that very well. And I have more on the tattoo, but I already talked about that. He also, when he says he found his wings again on her, then she impressed him by saying, I will die for you. He said, that might sound strange, but that made me want to live. Yeah. And there's something about the way she looked and all that, when she said that she was forced to dress up in a sexy way, or in the way that he was dressing up, that is debunked by 100 million people, on 100 people on YouTube saying the same thing and believing the same thing that I do. And this is another one. This is all from 2008, but there's some from 2014 that she still talks possibly about him, and say he was really supportive, even on her music, and even her finding her sexuality and all that he was a part of it. So there's another one. There's a Nylon magazine from 2008. They're saying to her, do you think there's the misinterpretations about you and Manson? She says, there's always going to be situations like this. People have misconceptions about him all the time, of course. They can think what they want. She's like all rebellious about it. They can think what they want. I'm not in the media that much, which she wasn't back then. She is now. How was the relationship changed you? The interview person said, how was this relationship changed you? See, the word change, it doesn't have to be always a negative thing like she's trying to make it look like right now. It could be positive change. So this person says, how did the relationship change you? She says, I have been in a place where I was letting too many people dictate who I should be and what I should be. So I was trying to make everybody happy, to the point where I was being very unhappy myself. I completely lost myself. It's kind of funny now that people think I've completely changed for him. Oh my God, this is from her mouth. When this is actually the first time in my life that I took a stand and I said, this is who I am and this is who I always wanted to be. And I'm finally with somebody else, with somebody who lets me be who I am, with somebody who lets me be who I want to be. He never tells me what to do. He never tells me what to do or what to wear. Oh my God. He never tells me what to do or what to wear or who to be. It's all my decision. He respects it. And that's what's important. It's all my decision. And that's what's important. So more than the relationship is me out on my own, finding myself and being in an environment where I can do that, and learning how to deal with the shit that you're going to get back from. She's cursing. She's saying the word shit. She's so like rebellious about it. That's a very true word in 2008. When you can say she was saying these things because she was brainwashed, because she was with him. He just gave her an engagement ring. I don't think so. I think this is the meat of the problem right here, right here. And I wish more people actually found these things. Like a lot of people are in it, but a lot of people out there, not on YouTube, they still believe everything she's saying as face value, just because she's sitting on a desk with a sweater, looking all no makeup on and looking all sad, and gave this testimony. But there's plenty of testimonies as before that show you how much she was into this whole thing. And I mean, in your 20s, I mean, yeah, she was younger than him, but you know, especially if you've been working in Hollywood since you were 10 years old, you know who you are. You're not that naive and that innocent that she makes it look that she was. You've been in the entertainment industry. She says she's been working since she was 5 because her parents are theater actors and his dad owned a theater. I believe all that. But so if you've been around the artists and all that and around the arts in general, and it was an artistic household and they were open-minded, she said that they were very open-minded when they chose to make the movie 13. So how come you grew up in a very open-minded childhood and all that, but then you can't just go and play innocent in your testimony and said that you don't know what's going on, you don't know what drugs were, you didn't know he was hiding a drug addiction problem from you. Look at the guy, watch his videos, his lyrics, his songs, his interviews. He's like, no, he might be sober now. I'm not sure. Hopefully he is. He's all about the drugs and the drinks and this and that. And then like, in what part of the universe in her weird ass brain she's thinking that people are going to believe this? I guess people do believe it, but some people don't. So I'm going to read this again because this is basic. How this relationship changed you. Evan says, I have been in a place where I was letting too many people dictate who I should be and what I should be. And I was trying to make everybody happy to the point that I just lost myself. I completely changed myself for him, but in the good way. When this is actually the first time in my life that I took a stand and I said, this is who I am and this is who I always wanted to be. And I'm finally with somebody else, referring to him, I'm finally with somebody else who lets me, so she has power in it, lets me be who I really am. So more than the relationship is me out on my own, finding myself and being in an environment where I can do so and learning how to deal with the shit that is going my way. She's so rude right there. It's kind of like she's telling to the interview person, well, to the shit that you put in. I'm like, this question you just asked me kind of proves that, I'm so, not changed by the guy, not one bit. If it was, I think that sometimes we are changed a little bit, and we are kind of mold, and and I think there's a little bit of an organic way to that. It's not wrong. Little bit of it is not wrong, but the way she talks about it in her testimony, that he told her what to wear, and here it is, her saying she wanted to do this, she wanted to be who she wanted to be, and she found the wings to fly on him. And there's another one from the video, Eat Me, Drink Me. This is what I really believe, that the thing is the other way around. And I really think that the abuse is not as simple as people think, from him to all these girls, ladies. I think it's a lot of that goes his way too. And I think he's been abused emotionally and controlled emotionally especially by Amy Roger Wood, because she was flat. She was sending so many signs of pure, I will die for you. She said to him, I will die for you, right? And she flattered him, and she played on his insecurities, being older than her, being kind of odd looking, and being divorced. So what these people do, they also mirror who you are, or who they think that you are. They mirror how you look like. They do it on purpose. They're not victims. And they mirror other people too. And they play whatever role they think that you want them to play. So if he was down because he just got divorced, and he said that Dita Von Teese wasn't really letting him be himself, that he felt like he turned into somebody else just for his wife, then Evan, this chick comes around, Evan Roger Wood, and completely makes him feel free. He can be himself. He can be who he is. He doesn't have to change. And that drove the guy to insanity, to be like, oh my God, I'm so in love with you, because you're like the opposite of the other one that just left me and divorced me on Christmas Day. Can never forget that. That's just, I love Dita actually, but I like her a lot. But just leaving somebody on Christmas Day is a bit. She played the role that he needed in that moment in his life. He fell for it because not because he's a man, because yeah, like I said, he was in a really sad situation. I don't think he was even confident about that record either. Which now looking past, Eat Me Eat Me Drink Me is one of the I'm not crazy about that record, but not because it's a bad record, but it's that one that a lot of people are not crazy about. So he was already insecure, and insecurities play a big role of how you're gonna find the next person you're gonna be with. If it's a person who's going to kiss your ass and tell you everything you want to hear, and I think this is like what she did to him. Exactly what she did to him. There's something about the heart-shaped glasses also that she admits that she's been collecting heart-shaped glasses since she was like 12 or whatever, and she loves heart-shaped glasses and all the Lolita stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that. But then she tried to play it on him that he controlled her. He made her look like that. What a monster. This thing, I have my older tablet. See, the thing is like with her, so this is something from a person, director of photography that work with both of them on that video with the buckets of blood and all that hardship glasses video. Right? There's another interview from article, not interview, really, an article from 2011. This is way after, huh? So, okay, you were involved with a bucket of blood, rocker Marilyn Manson, staying when she was 19 and he was 38. The relationship sent the media into a classic locking hand mode, airing all manner of speculations and conspiracy that he was controlling her, choosing her clothes and her film roles, and forcing her into look a certain way. Early last year, they announced their engagement. Hold on. And she was having a tough time with her. Yeah, she was having a tough. Of course, you're gonna have a tough time. Everybody's saying, "Oh my God, you shouldn't be with that guy. He looks like a weirdo, and you're so pretty. You're so young. You had." I mean, yeah, she's gonna have a hard time. That's like, it's kind of normal to have a hard time with when you are with somebody who you don't expect to be with. Makes sense. Early last year, they announced their engagement, and late last year, they end their engagement. I know they had really tried to make this go, he says, and yet, this is the DP. His name is Ed Lackman, and he's a director of photography from the video. So he worked with them and knows them at least for those couple months or a month they made the video. So he says, I know they really tried to make it work, and yet she brought this incredibly calmness and focused energy to set. Talking about the video, and I will sit back in awe as she photographs, and she's so photogenic. There's something beyond just her physical presence that the camera just adores. It's a typical director talk about an actress. Then she said, we had a bad breakup, she says. We haven't been apart for more than a week our whole life. We share a room, we share a bed. She was constantly by my side all the time until the minute I turned 18. I hopped on Marilyn Manson tour bus. This is what she said. She said, I hopped on Marilyn Manson's tour bus, and I was like, I'm going to have a full-time adolescence. The mother, her mom, appearing in a rock video, the mom was like, what do you do? And I think it would be normal. And this is what I saw so many times before, even back in the day from her. And that kind of made me like her. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that she's going against the media and she's saying, I'm going to do whatever I want. So she's saying, I didn't really get a normal childhood, says Amy Rogerwood. Manson gave me what I felt that I was missing out, where you get to experiment and cut loose and change and grow. I lived 50 lifetimes in those 4 years, all of which now lands Wood in an unusual position. All the actresses attempt to. Now she's saying, in this thing, remember when this came out, she was pretty much thanking him for being such a good actress, because now she finds herself, so she knows who she is, so she can play other people and blah, 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 blah. And then her saying the relationship was completely healthy. I know people can say, well, that's because she was brainwashed because she was so young. But the thing is, she said it again after aftermath, like few years ago. She said all this stuff again about him. So it wasn't just then. It wasn't just that. And the fact that she's posted on Instagram so many things about Black Lives Matter and Asian hate, and she jumps into every scandal or political event that happened, and all these things happen to be really sad, and she jumps on it. And just like Esme Bianco does the same thing. Amber Heard does the same thing. They jump on each political thing they can. They wave this flag of being bisexual, like being a bisexual person is going to make you a better person, or you deserve some type of award because you're gay, or because you're straight, or because you're bisexual. I'm going to get an award. I'm going to be more respected because I'm straight. Why would I? No. But Amy Wood and Amber Heard are been doing that, and they're feeding their ego on that. You can see their interviews, like you can see Evan interviews. Besides all this stuff, you can see her in interviews talking about herself, because it's all about herself, always, and talking about when she found herself. And she denies Manson. She doesn't say anymore that she found herself on him. This day, she doesn't say that, but she said that many times before. And the things that she posted on her Instagram are hilarious. Another thing that I can't stand is when people said, well, how can I believe them? When they give the testimony, they were crying, they have tears on their eyes. They are actresses, for fuck's sakes. I mean, I'm trying not to say the F word, but they're actresses, and they're good, both of them. And Evan Wood is good actress, better than Esme. And professional actress, been doing theater, commercials, and movies since she was 10 years old. Don't tell me that because she's crying, she means it. It's not like it's me or somebody. I mean, like, and the thing is, like, the narcissism is like you always place the blame in somebody else. There's nothing. She's not accepting blame on anything. Not blame, but like saying, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't, run on his tour bus, and I shouldn't have done this. No, she doesn't say that. She says it's all his fault, and that is the problem right there. She said she was cut off from her family. More BS. There's pictures online. I have them here too, but they're up there in Google. You can find pictures of Evan, Marilyn Manson, mom and dad, Evan's mom and dad, all happy in Disneyland. There's a picture of Disneyland. There's a picture in Universal City, a picture of them at Disneyland in California. And there's a picture of them in their house on Christmas. So that is not a girl who is being isolated by her family. No way. That's so not. And there's pictures out there. And as much as she probably wants to wash off the internet from all that, people on YouTube and on Twitter and on Instagram are finding these little gems. And then there's going to be, if she takes them to court, just like Esme Bianco's doing, it's going to be really hard for her to prove, first of all, that she was sexually assaulted. And it's going to be hard for her to unprove this that I'm talking about, because all this stuff is online. It's online. And even if you delete it from your phone, it's online forever. So you can go back and read Nylon Magazine, Spin Magazine, her interview, her pictures with Terry Richardson, which is a big photographer in New York that he always takes very edgy pictures. And he took pictures of her tied up to a chair. Now, I'm not hating on that. I'm just saying, like, don't make it like seem something that is not, when at the time it was perfectly fine. If you have post-traumatic stress disorder, which again, there's no proof that she has a diagnosis, you will not be doing a photo shoot when you're tying up to a chair. Again, I don't believe that she has, if she has that, it's because of something else that happened in her life. A lot of things can traumatize you. It can be from your parents, it can be from an environment, it can be from working in movies, it can be from the pressure that you have from looking a certain way. People have anxiety and depression for a lot of reasons. It cannot just be pinpoint on Manson. That kills me. Like, really. Somebody's like, oh, this is on Esme. Another thing that she posted on Instagram is this picture of her. This is her because she posted it, not me. I wouldn't post this. Her neck, and she's wearing a collar with the word switch. Okay, I'm gonna do this instead. Switch. Okay. Switch doesn't mean bisexual, straight, or gay. She probably is gonna try to say that. Switch in the bondage, fetish, sadomasochism world is, well, you can switch. You can be dominant, you can be submissive, you are a switch. You go both ways. It doesn't mean sexuality both ways. It means you go both ways in the physical role play. You can be a dominatrix one day, and then if your partner gets it, and you guys are both switch, then you can be submissive the next day. That's what a switch means. And why would she post this? This is what I'm saying, that she just shot herself on the foot with this stupid things, like post the picture of the tattoo and saying that she did it for David Bowie, posting this switch picture. So now she's saying that she was not involved in bondage, and is acting as though she was not into bondage at all, ever. She posted this picture that says switch. A switch, I already told you what it is. It's a term that is not a gay, bisexual term. She's playing on people's ignorance, she thinks everybody's stupid. She thinks she invented the word bisexual. She thinks she invented wearing suits to the Academy Awards when Diane Keaton and Madonna and a lot of people did it in the 80s and the 90s. A lot of actors wore suits. She didn't invent that. And she just claims this with pride, the word switch. To the point that putting a picture on Instagram because you're proud of it. Otherwise, why would you put the picture on your Instagram? Switch is a term used in relationships that are on the spectrum of sadomasochism. You can be the good guy and the bad guy. Not like there's any good or bad guys. You can be dominant, you can be submissive, you can be a switch. That's exactly what it is, and I don't care what she says. That is just English. And that is just the way that world works. It's not always one person having control. It can be switched. The control, the power exchange, is called power exchange for a reason. It can be switched. This is even more than what Esme Bianco did, because at least Esme Bianco never put a picture of her saying that she was a switch. She's always been a submissive person, it seems like. Even now she's trying to say that he made her that way. So this is something that I think about her, that she's been doing the mirror effect with every person she's been with for a long time. Maybe started with Manson because she was 19, so that was her first probably big deal relationship. But after Manson, when she was with Jamie Bell, she was looking all bohemian like Jamie Bell. And then when she was with the DJ, well, his name is DJ, okay? The super alternative looking guy, his hair to one side, little blue tips on the tips of his hair, white and blue. She dyed her hair white and blue. And there's pictures out there on the internet. She looks just like him. That kind of like what Amber Heard did when she was bohemian, when she was with Johnny Depp. And then she was glamorous when she was with Elon Musk. And then she was more masculine and more tomboyish when she was with a girl. Amy Roger Wood does the same thing, and not because anybody's forcing her to do that, because she wants to do that. And it can be a romantic gesture, a romantic thing, like, oh my God, let's just match outfits. Or it can be a lack of self and a lack of personality from her part. And it's not a negative thing to wear the same thing and to kind of like wear the same thing for the event, to kind of like play out the matching outfits. That's not negative. Don't make it into something negative then 8 years later when you do it all the time with other people. She is tomboyish when she's with a girl. She is bohemian when she's with a bohemian person. She is punk rocker when she's with a punk rocker person. She is alternative blue hair when she's with a DJ with blue hair. She was pale and with the curls and the red lipstick and all that when she was with Manson. This is an interview that she did with Self magazine. And this really kind of, I started listening to this a couple days ago. I missed this one for some reason. Interview from Self magazine. This is from YouTube, of course, but then it was a magazine. October 30, 2019. Okay.
What about me? Like, what about who I am, and what about what I want?
And remember what I just read about how she found herself on him, and he was giving her the freedom to be who she was, right? And he was not telling her what to wear. And she totally understood his sleeping schedule and all that, right? Okay.
And I think because I did well in my career, no one wanted to hear about my problems. And so I kept them all in. That then sort of segued into much more dangerous self-destructive behavior later on in life. Let's talk about sexuality. Yeah, let's do it. But what about
She really wants to talk about being bisexual, like it's like it's gonna get you a Nobel Prize.
As the savior, and then something happened.
This is what I want to get to it.
Because and was normalized in this relationship. When I read about domestic violence, it's like reading an autobiography.
Now she's going to describe how he swept her out her feet, made her make her feel like a queen. She said princess. And she was very charming. At this point, it's in 2019. She's not saying Manson, but she's saying he. So we know now that she's allegedly talking about him. This is 2 years ago. And she's saying how he, just kind of like control her, and she didn't know who she was. There's so much proof that this is not the case. So I don't know how she's going to defend this if they ever go to court. There's so many things on YouTube and on paper of her explaining that she did not know who the hell she was until she found him.
The message I want to get out now is I want to name them, but I can't. I think
them. There's a them. There's not him. There's them. So there's more than one person that she's talking about. We're not going to know who the second person or the third person is, sadly, because she's not naming the other person, because the other person probably has no publicity.
Domestic violence is so normalized, and was normalized to me that I couldn't see a crime being committed when it was being committed. I just didn't know. I was so young. I didn't know, that you could be raped by your partner. And even if I did know that, I don't think I would have thought that anybody would ever believe me, because how do you prove that?
How you prove that? She says it right there. How can anybody believe me? Because how you prove that? Exactly. Exactly. How are you going to prove that? How you prove that? My God, she says it right there. And then she talks about how she was trained, and she's not talking about Manson, trained by Hollywood and by theater and stuff to mimic other people and to become somebody else. And then she wants to change. She wants to blame people for her becoming somebody else. It's ridiculous. To the illusion enforces kind of everything. She also says, I am so good at my job, because she's just blowing her own horn all the time. Okay. So she's coming across on this self interview as she didn't know who the hell she was, and she was trained to mimic other people, and that's kind of what she did in her private life and in her acting. And that's what makes her a good actress. But in those things I was reading earlier, she's talking about how she found herself on him, and how happy and how liberating it was, and how intense it was, and all that she finally was able to be who she's supposed to be. And now it's like, well, she didn't know who she was. I'm just so confused. Sorry, she's going through the thing. I'm just And again, she says she's a good actress. She says that about herself. She's like, this is when it makes me good at my job. How can you be so? She says, because I did well in my career. She goes at it again. And she smiles like crazy when the girl goes like, well, let's talk about sexuality. She's like, yeah. Like she forgets. Like if the other stuff was putting her on to like through tears almost. Now she's just talking about being gay and how cool it is and completely flipped. Like how can you flip so fast from something that is supposed to be so painful? And the minute the person says, let's talk about sexuality, she's like, yes. And she does it with her arms. Like, yeah, I mean, I know this is film, so on camera, so probably she's over acting her reactions because that's kind of what she does all the time. But still, that big of a reaction when you were just talking about rape, and then you kind of smile and go like, yeah, let's talk about being bisexual. It's really bizarre. Um, and now she's talking about and of course, mind you, this is in 2019 where she was with a woman, because she doesn't do this type of stuff when she was with Jamie Bell or whatever. She was still, she might just talk about it, but she wasn't just waving the flag all the time. Oh, that was Sporty Spice. She dated the Sporty Spice, like the Spice Girls, and there's one that is a bit of a tomboy. We always liked the redhead Spice Girls, but anyway, um, she's saying, I know why I always liked Sporty Spice. That was me. How come that was you, and that was you also when you were with him, all feminine, all vintage? That was you so many times because people change, and this is the thing with her. If she just goes about this as, hey, listen, people change. He didn't change me. Maybe he did these other things, and maybe he was a pain in the butt. He didn't change me. I changed. People change. But she's not saying that. And that's really just lying through your teeth just to throw somebody under the bus and grab the guy and throw him through the mud and ruin like his career or whatever. I mean, not to me. I'm not gonna stop, like with Johnny Depp. I'm not gonna stop watching Johnny's movies just because of Amber. I'm not. But a lot of people have canceled these two guys, and Netflix dropped Johnny from working the Addams Family. We know what J.K. Rowling did with his Crimes of Grindelwald character. Recast him like nothing. The Pirates of the Caribbean people drop him. Marilyn Manson, Tony Q, like his manager of like 15 years, drop him, or more than 15 years. His management company of about 20 years, drop him. Not The Walking Dead, but the other show he was working on, American Gods, drop him. And yeah, I mean, you can say, well, these people don't need the money. They don't need the money. They have so much money. Yeah, they need to work. That's what they do. I mean, who are you to say? And now she's talking about her boobs and how she breastfed her son, and always talks about being a single mom. Also, like that's gonna get you some type of award or gold medal because I'm a single mom. So what? And as you are where you are, it doesn't make you better or worse. I don't know if nobody ever explains this to her because I know her mom is a pretty cool person. I've seen interviews with her mom and her dad seem like very nice people. I don't know where did she gets all this. If it's just for lack of personality, which I think is what happened from working as an actress so much that she just lost herself to the point that she thinks that making up lies is the only way to do it. And she's gonna go again. This is from the testimony from 2018, as how much he changed her. And in here, a lot of interviews saying that she's finally with somebody who gets her and understands her, so she can be herself. I mean, come on.
When I was a teenager, I met a man. I looked up to him in many ways and felt like we had a special bond, and I had no intention of it turning into something romantic. When it eventually did, I was
okay, right. Yeah. And that's what she showed up wearing the heart-shaped glasses on their first dinner. And when they went for karaoke, she sang the song Lunchbox by Marilyn Manson. And he was like, oh my gosh, she knows all the songs. Like she told the fact that she's saying she didn't intend it to be, I find it hard to believe. Maybe she's just saying that because she doesn't want to seem like a homewrecker. But still,
Sure how to stop it, as he had a certain charisma and power, and I quickly surrendered to his charms. In the beginning, he treated me like a princess. I was smart, but a smart 18-year-old is still an 18-year-old, and I thought I had fell in love. It wasn't until much later that I realized everything he had told me was a lie and part of what is called the grooming process. He'd hidden a terrible drug and alcohol problem from me.
he did. He hid a terrible drug. He hid it,
He
supposedly.
moved very fast in the relationship, asking me to move in with him almost immediately. There was a certain way he wanted me to look, otherwise I would endure name-calling and ridicule. He cut me off from my close friends and family one by exhibiting rage in some form or another when I was in contact with them. The only way I knew how to calm him was to give him what he wanted, which was me all to himself in total isolation.
Remember what she said, I will die for you. Which is kind of like, you should not say that to anybody ever, at any age, even if it's Marilyn Manson in front of you. You should not say that. But remember, she said, I will die for you. She said, I finally can be who I am and look the way I want to look. Oh, now it's his fault.
He had bouts of extreme jealousy, which would often result in him wrecking our home, cornering me in a room, and threatening me. I witnessed my abuser threatening people with force or legal action if he worried they would expose him. He bragged about being able to have people killed because he was allegedly friends with multiple gangs, and I watched him illegally collect data on people that he could use as blackmail.
So Manson is a mobster. He is friends with all this. She also said the word gangs. She could have said a different word. She said gangs members, gangs. So he is like this super. I mean, this guy doesn't even know how to type correctly. I mean, we've seen that. He's just a mess. He doesn't even know how to use a computer properly. But no, she's saying that he had connections to gang members and all this gang mentality, blackmailing people, deep fake, making a bunch of accounts to blackmail people. He could have killed her. I mean, if he was such a, well, just like he would say, I want to kill you. What is the difference? There's a big difference between that and what she's saying. It's not consistent to the whole, like, I fear for my life. I thought he was going to kill me any minute, to what she's saying about, well, he knew all this gang so they can do the dirty job for him. So which one is it then? Like, well, what? Which one is it? I don't understand.
By the time I realized I was in a bad situation, I felt completely trapped and terrified for my life. He gifted me a cell phone, which I found out he was monitoring. He downloaded spyware onto my computer and hacked into my emails and social media accounts so I could not reach out for help. When my friends and family tried to intervene, I simply told them to leave because I was afraid of what he would do.
See, it's reading like a script. I'm sorry. It is. I also there's somebody saying out there that they wrote this statement together, which is not actually illegal to write your statement with somebody else. It doesn't automatically make you a liar, but when you're talking about rape and torture and everything, the fact that I think the S, maybe Anko and her wrote the statement together, is a big red flag in a criminal case. Though it's not illegal, actually, to write statements with somebody else. So
he broke me down through means of starvation, sleep deprivation, and threats against my life, sometimes with deadly weapons, which would...
Remember when she said that she totally got the fact that he needed to be awake at night and she didn't mind, and Dita was trying to change him, but Imre Wood didn't mind and she let him be himself. Remember all that? Well, now she's been sleep deprived and is starved. This girl's always been skinny, always, during him, before him, and these days too. So I don't know. I don't see a big change on that. Pictures of her with her parents in Disneyland is such that is not isolation. Pictures of her in a karaoke bar in Japan, singing after they got engaged. There's a lot of people around and she's just singing and she's so happy. I don't see that as an isolation either. This is why it's going to be really hard to prove those things, because those things have been proven already. So not only it's really hard to prove that you've been raped, because it's hard to prove that physically. Unless you go to a doctor right away, it's really hard. And that sucks because it's a whole different subject, but it's hard to prove everything that is being proved that I was just reading. I don't know what she's gonna say. She didn't say those things, that these people are liars. All these magazines, all the stuff from 2008 all the way to 2014, they're all liars. She gave these interviews. She talked fondly about him and how he helped her. Not he changed her. he helped her into be who she is today, or who she was in that moment when she gave the interview. Help me in who I was and all that, and become who I supposed to be, who I'm meant to be, who I'm meant to become. And even the people that work in their music videos saying that she was a delight to work with, and they were very calm and they were really into each other, and she was very comfortable with everything, the fake blood and the kissing and the scenes and all that. So oh my god, like, oh my god, that is the thing with her, that I everybody else after her, it's really hard to believe anybody else after her, because they all kind of like going on the same thing. There's the deprivation of sleeping. He forced some drugs. They didn't know there was drugs in the house before they show up. Oh, I don't know. Let's go over to Marilyn Manson's house in Beverly Hills. I'm sure there's no drugs. Yeah, there are going to be drugs. And the drapes are going to be black, and the curtains are going to be closed, and the AC is going to be turned on because some people do drugs, they sweat. This is normality. I mean, why are they all acting so surprised? This is what's really hard to believe these things. And as much as I believe her in the beginning, just like I believe Amber Heard in the beginning, and I'm so ashamed to say that I did. But I did because I did. I did because I did. And that little video that TMZ put out there with him slamming the stuff in the kitchen, I thought, oh my God, what a nut job. He barely beats her up too. That's it. That was my but I changed that. I started doing research and I started learning who she really is and who he is. And I made my own decisions now and who I believe. But for a moment, I did believe her. And for a moment, I believed this one too, when this came out. So then all it takes is just go on Google, not on Instagram, it's kind of go on Google or go on YouTube and see all the debunks on her and what her is doing. She's doing, Ashley Waters is another one. Ashley Waters, best friends with Esme Bianco. And I think it's all related. The fact that Amber Heard is bisexual, Amy Rodriguez is bisexual. They were together in a women march, both of them talking and making. When is it that people start making sexual preferences something political? Why? Why is it something political? If you is it political if that I'm straight? No, it is not. No, it's not. More of Nylon Magazine has so many interviews with them. Back in the day, they was just squeezing this as they were soulmates, and how he totally understood her. She totally understood him. They never try to change each other. You know. Oh, by the way, she was the highest paid actress ever in a music video. So not only that, I'm not saying that she should have done it for free, sell herself cheap or anything. She's an actress, but I'm saying that the fact that she got so much money out of it, a 3.5 minutes, 4 minute song, and that she was super okay. The director says that she was super okay with everything that was being done in the video. Now, she would respond to any of this. She would say that she was brainwashed. There is no proof of that. We go back to the same thing. There's proof that you were not brainwashed. There's proof that from your own words, you were saying that he complete you guys were meant for each other. He was letting you be yourself. There's a lot of proof on that. There's no other proof on the other stuff besides what you're saying at face value. And I think that we are in a very dangerous situation if we're going to just believe people just because what they say on YouTube or on Instagram or even in Congress. She's in Congress right there, which I believe lying. It's my opinion. I think she's lying. But it's just her voice is saying something. There's no proof, absolutely nothing besides her voice. And opinions and feelings are not facts. They're just opinions and feelings. I can feel that this person tortured me, and I can feel that this person used me, and it's a feeling. There's a way that I have to prove it. Otherwise, a judge is going to be like, well, I'm so sorry that you feel that way. This is what therapists usually say. I'm sorry you feel that way, but what you did in this thing, what is your responsibility? How come you were so passive and you have no say in any of this? I don't know if she goes to therapy and who she's seeing that is now telling her this. Probably because they're just blindfolded by this whole victim mentality thing. And for people that say that she's not getting anything from it, all you gotta do is go look her Instagram account, and somebody did a screenshot of it. I think there's Marilyn Manson defenders or um, Narcissus Evan. There's a couple really good Instagram pages, and they debunk her and the other ladies. Um, and there's just like so much info on interviews and their sexual life and their fetish and the switch picture of it. She admits that she's a switch. How does she can say she's a switch and then act like she has no idea what fetish and bondage relationships are, or masochism and sadomasochism are? She can't pretend she doesn't know it when she's posting a picture of being a switch. And that and the tattoo with the lightning bolt and the heart around it, her saying that it was for David Bowie, it's very sweet that she's saying that, but it wasn't for David Bowie. It was a tattoo for Manson that she had done in 2008. If it wasn't a tattoo for Manson, why is the last shot of the video before they kiss? There's the last shot. They're holding hands and her tattoos right on her leg. And there's pictures that she did for Nylon magazine for Terry Richardson, the photographer, that she's even showing off the tattoo, so people can see, this is who she is. She is this girlfriend of this guy, and she's proud of it. Would he like throw her? Like he actually grabbed her on Sunset Boulevard all the way to the tattoo place and force her to get that done? Maybe. I don't know. Can you actually physically do that to somebody? Probably you can. And that's more of her saying that they inspired each other. This one is from Nylon magazine in 2009. This is when they were not together anymore, but she's still saying really nice things about him. And then about the music video, she says it's a portrait of two people obsessed with each other. Evan Rachel Wood was reportedly the highest paid of any actress ever to appear in a music video on 4 minutes. He said the song was inspired by her and there was no one else who could do it. Evan Rachel Wood, for her part, insisted she wouldn't have done the video even if she and Manson were not dating, just for the chance to work with him. And then she said, we really inspire each other. I've been kind of shy about anything I did on my own, what I wrote or any songs that I made, she says. I never let anybody read them or hear my songs. But he definitely made me feel comfortable enough to come out of my shelf. I've been writing and getting really into photography now and recording because Manson was encouraging me to do that. It really makes you want to get up and go when you have a partner in crime like that, when she has a partner in crime like that. It's just great. I mean, this is so positive. I mean, it's just, and it doesn't, the way she talks, it doesn't seem like she's 14-year-old either. She has a good brain, supposedly, back then. I don't know. So they asked her to go if it was also scary because she knew that she would be getting into a lot of media just for being with him. And she says, I always been a really private person, never been in the tabloids or anything. Ooh, which you are now. But you just know immediately when you get into something like that, not only because he's very famous, but because the relationship is so strange to so many people that it's going to draw attention to us. She says, you know it going into it. And you just have to think it's worth it. And then she says, yes, it is. Absolutely. It's worth it, right? It's worth it, the money that she got from the music video as well, but whatever. I think she should, that's okay. She's an actress. She should not be doing a music video for free. But my point, I might just change the title of this, doesn't matter. My point is that she did not fear the edge. She was being edgy on purpose. It was either for her own discovery as a woman or her being rebellious against her parents. There's that famous line that she said to her mom, I'm going to be in this tour bus and I'm going to experiment with myself and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, she said that in a Rolling Stone interview. So that she did this to find herself, or she had this groupie thing on him, or to be rebellious against her family or against Hollywood so they can see her in a different light. There's a lot of motive and ulterior motives and things that could drive a person to do this, and it's not money. um she gained followers every 6 hours. There's somebody took a screenshot, I didn't, of when she named him in February 2nd, and in 6 hours she gained 100,000 more followers. So that is a motive right there, even if it's not in a form of a paycheck. More people saying Evan Rachel Wood doesn't fear the edge. It's her natural habitat on screen and in real life. She's not uncomfortable. Lolita S situations, check. Nudity, check. Drugs, maybe. Bisexuality, check. Naturally, I love me some girls, man, she says. There's nothing wrong with this. I'm not saying like it's wrong, but what I'm to illustrate the edge that she always had during him and after him. And it was her choice. But that is my opinion. And this is like the last one because this is like gold. There's a particular snapshot that Marilyn Manson ex-girlfriend, this is when they were not together anymore, is tied to a chair. Terry Richardson, the photographer, he is famous for doing this very radical, out there photo shoots with men and women. And they usually, it's not about being naked, but usually radical environments, or just like, being tied up or having a gag on your mouth, or having a like the thing what he did with Manson that says fucking asshole on his t-shirt. The guy is radical. That word is to define Terry Richardson as a photographer. So she made a photo shoot with Terry Richardson after she was not with Manson anymore. And he said to him, what you're going to get with me. She said, yes, you know what you're going to get with him. But he makes you feel so comfortable. She's talking about the photographer. He makes you feel so comfortable. He was like, okay, take off all your clothes. And I was like, okay, it's all right. It's all right. And then she added, then he tied me to a chair and he pushed me over. And I was like, I only done this for 3 people, she said. Manson, Across the Universe director, Julie Taymor, and now you. So feel special. She said, I only done it for 3 people. You, Julie Taymor, which is the director of Across the Universe movie, and you. So you should feel special. I only done it for 3 people. Manson, female director for a movie, and you. So you feel special. And then that photo shoot is pretty interesting. It's a really good one. It's probably one of my favorite ones that he done of females. It's a really beautiful one. And she's again showing the tattoo on purpose. They were not together anymore, and she's showing the tattoo on the photo shoot. And it is a lightning bolt and a black heart. And nothing is going to convince me that it's for David Bowie and not for him. Now, she can say to all this that she was brainwashed into getting the tattoo. She can say that he said, get the tattoo and I'm going to be mad at you, or something like that. I think this whole thing is a well-coordinated conspiration event that has been happening since the minute they went to Congress 2 years ago. But now, because they're seeing what's happening with Amber and how much attention she's getting, and the fact that Johnny lost in the UK, I think these girls are just getting, oh my God, look, this is happening. Let's just jump on the train. Following the Amber tutorial. I thought it was the other way around. I thought that Amber was following the Evan Rachel tutorial, but now I can see that they're just like feeding each other. And they're signing up buddies, like this is something that is okay to do, to ruin somebody's career and cancel a person without proof. But there's a lot of proof of the other things we're talking about. There's a lot of proof that she did what she did willingly and happy about it and talk very nice things about him. Okay. And sorry, Evan Rachel Wood, but being bisexual is not an accomplishment in life. I don't know why she has to turn what she does in the bedroom into something political. I really don't know. But that thing with the self interview on YouTube is right there. I'll put a link on it, maybe not. is everything that you want to know right there. It's in 10 minutes. She says, I was a blank slate. I was mirroring whoever I was with, So she's saying that she can't say that he forced her to wear black leather or red lipstick or whatever. She said, I was mirroring whoever I was with. So I didn't know who I was. So that is just simple right there. And I found information on the violet, like the color, the flower, wand. The violet wand is something that is used in the bondage scene. It's it's a sex toy, but it has a little bit of electricity to it. You're not gonna get electrocuted, okay? It's just a battery. That it has the same intensity than a microdermabrasion thing that you would use on your skin. There's an electric thing you can use. You can buy it at Walgreens, okay? Then there's a battery and it has a little bit of pull. It's not pain. It's an electric thing that just scrubs your skin. The violet one that they're talking about, that her and Esme are talking about, the Manson tortured them with a violet one, is something that is as the same intensity as something that you put on your face to scrub your face. Same thing. And this is not just me saying it, it's out there. And it's very harmless. It's not painful. It's like if you say it's painful to have a scrub on your face, some people will get ready and be like, oh my God, this is painful. But it's not. It's just a bit of a shock, a bit of electricity. And it's not even electricity from plugging it on the wall. It's electricity from a battery. So it's the same thing that any cosmetic toy that you can buy at Walgreens or Target that releases your dead cells from your skin. I use those. And yeah, it's kind of funny. It feels kind of funny. But it's not torture. It doesn't feel like torture. It feels kind of fun, it's like a tickle. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, this is such a no, but it's not painful either. So that's the famous violet wand, and I'm going to talk more about the violet wand on my Esme Bianco video, and I'm going to talk about who Esme Bianco is and who she was since 2004, and if she's trying to wash the internet from all the videos that she made and the photo shoots, she's not going to do it. You can go look at, go on the search bar and search Area 51 altogether, capital letters, Esme, and be scared. Because I can't play that. Somebody just went and did it. Esme Bianco, Area 51. It's scary. She's like, well, not scary. It's not scary. It's artistic if you are into that. But now for her, years after, to say that she has no idea when he pulled out the violet one and the rope, oh my God, I don't know. Oh my God, sir, what are you going to do to me? I don't know what that is. Yeah, she knew. And even like people will get in trouble for playing this stuff. That's why they can't. But the good thing is there's so much stuff. There's so much content these days. If this happened 20 years ago, we'll be screwed. But right now, there's so many ways you can find things that you can find who she was and who she is and the stuff that she was doing and the stuff that she posted on her own Instagram with the latex and the corsets. I'm not saying that just because you wear latex, you want to get tortured. I'm not saying that. But she was in that scene. She used to go to a place called the Torture Garden, which is in LA. And it's not as bad as the words it makes it. Nobody's having sex or anything, but it's a place that you just go and have agreements with somebody. You're going to get spanked or you're going to spank somebody, and there's rules and there's agreements, and you have to agree to these things. It's consensual, just like Manson has been saying. Not like Esme and Evan are trying to make it that it wasn't consensual. I think this whole thing was totally consensual, and the shame of it. They're ashamed of it, and they have a problem with him, especially in the case of Esme. I don't know if she was ghosted or what's going on, but there's a lot of things that don't make any sense. And I think these girls are following the Amber tutorial, And I hope that Manson gets a little bit more of a sympathy on his side than Johnny got in the UK, because that will suck. But now I'm gonna go, and it's been more than an hour, and I'm going to keep looking for stuff, and I'm going to show you next time what is the. I can't show it to you, but what is the violent one that they're talking about, and how harmless it is, and you will get more of an electric shock from a cosmetic procedure than from the violent one. You know, like those things that the massage things, that you put batteries on and you can massage yourself. It's just like that. It's just like that. It's not painful. It doesn't pinch you. It doesn't make you bleed. It's not wax. Like it doesn't. It's just a little bit of a tickle electric thing that you will get from a massage little toy thing, or something for your skin that people these days pay money to go have electricity on their skin to remove stuff. So that's a violent one. So this girl should have done the research before they said, again, in front of Congress. Maybe they should have to somebody else to pick on, or something that it can be proven, or more of a gruesome details, because everything they detailed, I can't find one thing that makes sense. If I count on Esme Bianco's past as a fetish model, and Evan Roger Wood and everything I've been reading about how she finally was herself, and how I think that she abused him. That's my theory. You was like, oh, how can she abuse him? He's a big guy. Yes, she did. There's a lot of ways. She made him believe something that it wasn't, and she sold a dream to the guy, and the guy was in a weak spot. He bought it, and he didn't know it was going to end like this. Probably not. And it's sad. I think it's very sad. And I think the same thing happened with Amber and Johnny, like the big gap of different age, big gap there. Johnny was just divorced from Vanessa Paradis. It's not a coincidence that these girls appear on their life as they just got a divorce, and as they're being in a weak spot, and they don't feel good about themselves as men. And now you get these girls that are younger than you, 20 years younger than you, or 30 years, like Evan and Manson, like a lot, big gap. And they tell you you're the best. They make you feel like you're the only one out there. They tell you they will die for you. Now, of course, you're going to get into it. I don't blame Johnny and Manson for getting with them. It's just very wrong. They're just going to be believed at face value. The stuff I was reading is stuff that is out there, that it cannot be washed away, because that's not how the internet works. So if they go to court against him, Judge Manson, they can come up with all the stuff that we can come up on here on YouTube all the time, and be like, well, this was her decision. She said in many interviews, this was herself. She was finding herself. She told her mom, go, bye. I'm going to go be with my boyfriend. I'm going to go crazy because I'm craving danger and darkness. Those were her words. I'm craving danger and darkness. So I think that she switched the script on him. And I think if there is an abuser, it's her. And that's it. End it.